message of General Muntu. I don't know why the numbers are not showing up for General Muntu. And being that he comes from the West, I expect that here in Western Uganda, wherever General Muntu goes to campaign, people should be able to give him an ear and listen. He's in Rampara today. I hope the numbers go there and support him, really. The team is already in studio. Good morning, Bruce Oakuna, and welcome to the show.
Good morning, West Gebanyaji. Good morning to my fellow panelists and also to the listeners. It's been a good week. It was event-filled, especially now that the nominated candidates.
I find no problem. If Ian Kagame or Brian Kagame or anyone wants to be in the army, then so be it.
So be it.
All right. Yeah. Welcome, Sifa Safi. Yes, Navasa, Alan, good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, our moderator and the people outside there. I'm Aaron Navasatu Berondwa. I'm the FDC chairperson of Rukonjeri district. Now I have been promoted again to be the regional field coordinator for Honorable Nandala Mafabi.
Nandala Mafabi's campaign looks very, smooth running. Yes. It looks like he has money to run his campaigns.
No, we are very much organized and we are on the ground. So for the course of the week, I saw our patria, Dr. Kano, Dr. Kizabes Fefe, our man protesting Emmanuel Baguma. So Emmanuel Baguma wanted him not to talk in court, and Dr. Besige defiantly refused. And yesterday you saw the note protesting that the man from Gwakabengo, now he has instructed his lawyers not to represent him. He will be representing himself in the court, such that he present his case face to face to Emmanuel Baguma. So for today, our presidential candidate, Honorable Nandala Nathan Mafabi, will be in Bundubujo and Ntoruko. And tomorrow we are proceeding to Kasese for manifesto launch. So I call each and everybody out there in those Rwenzori region to come and you see the man who is going to fix your economy, money in your pockets.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Welcome, Alan Navasa. Mujugu Mufachinanye Moses, the Deputy Dean of RDCs. Good morning and welcome to the show.
A very good morning to you, my very good friend Banyaji, and a very good morning to my fellow panelists here, and a very good morning to our very big listeners out there. You know, I usually tell people that if we don't know that listeners are not there, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah, absolutely.
But because we are very confident that they are on the big station tuning in, we have to come and share our ideas. Banyaji, as you have really introduced me, my name is Moses Omujugujugu, and I'm the first Deputy Dean of RDCs and RCCs in Uganda. When I posted that I was coming here, Banyaji, people requested me one thing.
Yes.
That let Banyaji give you 1 minute and you tell us what do you mean by protecting the gains. And I know you're a very good man. You will give me that 1 minute to explain it. And to our listeners, protecting the gains, we really mean that we want to safeguard the past achievement.
You will mention it.
We expanded the economy from the three T's to now a very magnificent, performing and wonderful economy.
Do you have money in your pocket?
We are saying we are protecting those gains. The roads we have made from border to border, the power we have, the electricity we have generated,
yes,
all those things we are protecting them. We are also saying we want to prevent the reversal
of those gains.
Of the reverse of what happened. Remember, in our constitution, the preamble says, recalling our history, full of turbulent times. Now, therefore, so those turbulent times, we want to prevent the reversal of those past events.
Conclude.
And then also the continuity and stability. We have been stable for the first time in the history of Uganda. In the last 500 years, Uganda is stable from corner to corner, border to border. We are saying we must protect that as a gain, and then ultimately we have what we call legitimacy for the future. Once we have protected those gains, we will have a firm foundation to act as a springboard to usher us into a middle income status 2040. So it is very important for our listeners that this is what we are trying to protect, and we need we need you to be on board so that we may all enter into that world called NSUBIS. We have now laid the firm foundation. We now need to continue with what we have done so that we can get there. And we want to, by so doing, I want to request you. We are in the presidential elections have begun. There is one candidate suitable to protect the gains and to ensure we dip into the middle income sector.
Let's stop for a break.
His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. I am asking you for his vote. Thank you.
We're stopping for a break. When we came back right into the topic of discussion. Good morning.
It's tough. It's bold. It's real politics. The Big Seat on 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music.
Great music.
Great friends.
Great friends.
Cruise FM. Great music.
Great music.
Great friends.
Great friends.
20 minutes past 9 o'clock on Western Uganda's biggest radio station, 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music, good friends. Good morning from wherever that you're catching the show. My name is Wesige Banyaji. You can listen to the show if you're out of Western Uganda on cruisefm.com/stream and on Cruise TV for TikTok and YouTube. Type in Cruise TV, follow down. You'll be able to watch the television. All that is happening here on Plot 12, Mutilen, right in your in your palms and on the go. If you're in all these places across the world, you can still listen to the show. I'm very sure that there are so many Ugandans in the diaspora and want to follow through what happens in the country. It's very easy. You just go on our social media. But also, if you want to contribute and be a part of the conversation, you just drop us a message on our topic of discussion. I'll be able to read it. And later on in the show, open the lines on 752-912-912 and 780-912-910. With me in studio is Mr. Bright Muhomuza, who is the coordinator of NUP here in Mbarara. But also, he wants to be Member of Parliament, Mbarara City South. Mufachinanye Moses Omujugujugu is the first Deputy Dean of RDC. Sifa Safi is a big seater and political analyst. Navasa Allen is the chairperson for the FDC in Rukunjuri district, and Bruce Owakonda, who is a big seater and a member of the National Resistance Movement. Let me start with Bright Muhomuza. And what is happening in your party? First, we know that individuals have made pronouncements in as far as their membership of that party is concerned after losing their chance to be the flag bearers of the party. Medad Segona, a prominent legal teacher, but also a lawyer who's been in the politics of the opposition for quite a long time. Remember to have served as the spokesperson of the Buganda Kingdom. He already exited that party because he thinks the decisions were made were wrong. But we also know of others that are threatening to stand as independents. on the background of an opaque process that people, especially the members of your party and onlookers from the outside, think this was simply a group of individuals sitting in one room or in a boardroom and choosing who should stand where, and yet the people had no input in that. Is this the true picture of your political situation right now, Bruce? Bright?
Mr. Banyaji, good morning once again. I want to inform the listeners that really what is happening or what they are seeing in the national unity platform now is not new to Uganda's politics, because you see, when you look at what happened in 1961 when we were trying to receive independence, really you know what happened exactly, how DP won an election, and there was a problem between UPC and Kabaka Eka. They joined hands. They are allegedly being blamed for having stolen or cheated the victor of DP after that alliance. In other words, from there, we developed politics of selfish interests. A person joins politics not because he wants to serve the country, but because he wants to maybe enrich themselves or himself. In Uganda, when you look at the politics of political parties, I have told you before, I can repeat it now, that the individuals are not after the interest of the state, are not after the interest of the communities that they intend to represent. You see, somebody can promise very many things, but when they go to parliament, when they go to councils, you find them in a group trying to share what was meant to benefit the entire community. In the national platform, really, people joined the national platform from people power movement. It was a people power movement. Then they came in and said, because we need a vehicle, we need a political platform that will help us go through election. National platform was formed. But the bigger picture, what we stand for, what we still believe in now, is people power. So those people who came and joined us, it depends on their interest. Did they come to serve the interest of the community? Did they come to achieve their personal and selfish goals? If the answer is about selfish goals, then you have seen them. Because see, people are complaining that they were not given a flag, that the process was not transparent. But the same process is the same process that gave them the flags or that appoint the cards last elections. Last elections, they were selected through the same process. And they never blamed the process at all.
Maybe we should interrogate the process right here. Because even where I see it, I find it weird that a political party, one cannot organize primaries for the membership, the entire membership, to decide who should be the flag bearer, but rather have to face a panel, an interview panel, that is composed of not the best of brains in the party, not even in the country, and they have to decide the fate of people like Segona, who everyone knows the quality and what he brings to the table of the NUP. Do you believe this process is as credible as it should be to bring out the best flag bearers for the party?
First of all, as an individual, I don't believe in the current parliament. Even these politics, the politics of going to parliament, going to council, me personally as an individual, I don't believe in such. I have told people from Mbarara State House that even when I'm voted and I happen to win the seat and my president doesn't win, I will not swear in. I am on cruise and I've said it. What I know is that we are using parliament as just a small platform to continue fighting for our cause. Unfortunately, other individuals, other people, my fellow NUP members are using it as a platform of eating. So some people who are fighting that they need to get the card, they maybe think they have lost the eating table. But precisely what is happening in NUP, as in how we give out cards, it is clearly stated in our constitution Some of the people who are complaining are lawyers. For example, like Segona. He subjected to himself to this process, well knowing it clearly. I was with him in Ginger Resort Hotel, at Ginger Resort Hotel. We appointed him as the chief legal officer of National Unity Platform in order to reform our constitution. We changed the constitution to allow the structures of National Unity Platform elect leaders, flag bearers. Unfortunately, our constitution was not gazetted. Even up to now, it is not yet gazetted. Mr. Wadaji, we could not have used the process that is not stated anywhere in our constitution. The process we used is stated clearly in our constitution. I am only saying that those that got the flag was their turn. It was their luck. It was their opportunity now. Some of these people who are complaining have been given chances before. They have represented national platform interest before. They have been in parliament for 3 terms, like Segona. Now, if they say, now let's send the Mr. Warukaga Robert for this time, it doesn't mean that he's not a member of National Unity Platform.
Okay, thank
it
you.
doesn't mean that National Unity Platform does not trust him. They are only saying that at parliamentary front, we have sent Warukaga Robert. You can do some other great things for the party.
Okay, thank
so
you.
It doesn't matter whether I am in parliament or not. I can still contribute to the liberation of my country, even when I'm not a councillor, even when I'm not a member of parliament. I mean, these positions don't matter. I can be a leader without a position.
Thank you, Bright. Let me come to Bruce. On where you sit, I'm very sure we were here and we were talking about the primaries of the NRM, of what was made in there, the money, the violence, the chaos that was in there. We definitely rebuked all that that was wrong. We saw what happened here in Barra for the Democratic Party. We still came back here, and then we talked about what happened in Ruti. Now we saw what happened in the NUP, where a conclave literally sat and distributed party flags for.
Why do you refer to our electoral management committee as a conclave?
But it is.
But he's catered for. Why doesn't he say the electoral management committee of National Unity Platform sat somewhere? Because really,
I retract that statement, Bruce.
Well, thank you, Banyaji. This is not coming as a surprise. Like I said here on this show before, you cannot sit behind the boardroom and handpick leaders like you're picking coffee. It had a faulty foundation from the beginning, and these internal contradictions were expected. So this is not a surprise, but also an observation should be made, a very important observation, that it is only people in Uganda that are raising the dust and all this noise. Cards were distributed almost across the country, which I congratulate the National Unity Platform, by the way. It is, yes, that's why I said the biggest part of the country. So if you look at, for instance, Ankore, I've not had so many people aggrieved that all over the media making noise.
But why would they when they were unopposed, literally?
They are not.
We have a challenge in Rwampara. I think our chairperson of National Unity Platform in Rwampara says the flag was given to another person. We are harmonizing on about it. In Jinja, the current member of parliament for Jinja, Manjeri, was not given a flag, and the 2 mayors for Jinja divisions were all not given a flag. They were our mayors, but now we elected others, so they are raising some dust, but we are trying to cool them down.
Yes. So what I'm communicating basically is that you can see the central region is NUP's strongest base, and it is understandable when you see people making noise. But I've said on this show before that NUP should avoid taking the roads that other traditional political parties have taken in the past. They should draw lessons from history, and there are different examples they can take lessons from. I don't know why Aaron is breathing as if he's about to collapse when I said other political parties.
Yes.
So they can learn from DP, they can learn from UPC, they can learn from FDC now of Nandara Mafabi, how it has ended. So how they manage these internal contradictions and how they handle internal cohesion, how they are going to harmonize is very important. because NUP has just made almost like 5 years.
Yes.
So it is still at an infant stage of political development. So how they harmonize, how they sit, because they have started already receiving petitions. So how they harmonize that is going to determine how they navigate the challenges they will get even in the near future. But you see, like I've maintained, all our political parties, even the NRM is not an exception. It is the same thing that happened to the FDC. When you see those factions that broke away, the Muntu faction and also the Besigye faction, it is the Messiah syndrome, the big man syndrome. People creating cults. If it is not Besigye, it is not any other person. If it is not Bobby Wine, it is not any other person. And you can agree or you can fail to agree, but now NUP has brought something called that you must have NUP in your DNA. If you're not allied to a certain person,
Yes.
I can tell you you're not going to survive. But if they are going to build a grassroots movement, because you see, people power as an idea was built, one, on the foundation of the young population. Two, the idea was that it should be a grassroots movement. So you cannot then say you're going to sit behind boardrooms and pick leaders for the people at the grassroots. Then authority and power should be decentralized from Kavule and taken back to the people. That's why I maintain that they should have had at least primary elections.
But if at all their constitution does not provide for primary elections, then what happens? Why would you require of a party whose constitution right now requires that they do exactly what
that
they
is
did?
a challenge now that they have to iron out. But for me, I've always told you, let's be pragmatic, not academic. If you are where NUP is now and where Bobby Wine is now, the man was just querying an internal rebellion.
Yes.
He's simply saying
there was a coup d'etat that was happening.
That there was a coup that was taking place, especially people that and those boys are very dangerous from the Subi group. The Segonas you see, they have spoiled very many political parties.
Yes.
And what I've liked about Bobby Wine, I think he's a student of President Museveni. He's ruthless.
Yes.
And power has no conscience. If you want to maintain power, forget about morality, find a way of using rules and bending them to suit your own interests.
Thank you, Bruce Wakunda. Yes, Sifa, I want to bring you in. We can forgive the NUP on so many things, but if it has chosen that it's going to be a boardroom that is going to choose who is going to be the flag bearer, there's been a conversation of comparison. You have a musician in Walukaga versus a lawyer and a law don in Segona. You have Roy Semboga, who is a doctor, to a businessman in Senta Munyanzi. So there's been a comparison of what did you study, what's your qualification, what's your experience vis-a-vis the other person. Is that how politics should play out? Are people represented well because someone of what they studied or what their career is made of?
Thank you, Banyaji. Of course, we all know politics, and at least we have some experience in politics, much as we have not maybe participated directly, but we've seen people participate. So for me, if you asked me, politics is not about what you studied. That's what we are seeing right now. It's not about what you studied. It's not about the experience. But it's about loyalty of the party leaders. Because, for example, when you look at a lady like Honorable Joyce Bagara, anyone would want to think that she would be the suitable candidate here for Michana woman member of parliament. I'm not saying I'm grieved that she wasn't given that flag. I wouldn't mind who they bring, as long as what matters to me is the results at the end of the day. But then again, we all know that at one point she knocked heads with some of those party leaders.
Yes.
She commented on the issue of buying flags and all that, which did not go well with the leaders. So what did you expect? But for me, like any other person would want to think, if we want to see the results at the end of the day, you're not bringing these things of a lawyer or whatever. And so I would not criticize what these people did. The vetting, it's called a committee?
Yes.
The vetting committee.
The electoral
they are
management
looking at
committee.
who might bring results at the end of the day. Because now that they did not give the card to Segona but gave it to Matthias Walkaga, people it shouldn't be a surprise. Maybe for them or to them, he's the one who's going to deliver what they want. So I wouldn't have a problem who they bring, much as some of these things are laughable. And of course, when you talk of experience, like someone hinted on that particular issue, you might think that Segona has been in parliament for quite a number of time. But someone would say, what has he done that is extraordinary, that wouldn't want to replace him?
Yes.
Exactly. So maybe people will say that as a mayor, this gentleman, the musician again, Walukaga. Maybe someone might tell you that he has done something as a mayor, so let's see what he can do as a member of parliament.
Yes.
I wouldn't have that problem. But what I'm saying is, like I've always said, what we want is peaceful politics and whatever, because we were here criticizing the system of NRM primaries, and we said there were loopholes here and there. But yes, there were loopholes there, but wouldn't it be better than a few people sitting and picking someone for their own reasons? Because someone might come and say that, yes, people lined up, some people are bribing here and there, but it's much more better than sitting and you say that we want Banyaji as a group of people. When people think, you'd have given opportunity to browse. So for me now, it is incumbent upon the people to see what is better for them. But I liked the sentence or the statement that was made by Honorable Semuju. He said he wouldn't sit before a councillor to be vetted. He said, as a member of parliament, or as a person who is aspiring to be member of parliament, why would I sit before a councillor to be vetted? What does he know about parliament? That was him, and some people said he was right. Because, I mean, how did they come up with this team of people to do the vetting? That was his question. Maybe for him, he thought there are much more better people who would have sat on this vetting committee.
But also, if we are to ask,
Yes.
Semuju Nganda is a journalist like any other.
Yeah.
Just like Matthias Walukaga is a musician like any other, or a teacher or whatever. Why would I be barred from occupying public office or being elected because I am thought to have not qualified in a particular way? I find a problem there, because we've seen situations where those elites that we think could perform don't perform for the people, don't serve.
Exactly.
And those that are not expected to serve actually do exactly what the electorate wants.
My point exactly. And that confirms what I said about Matthias Walukaga and Honorable Segona.
Yes.
Because you might be very good in courts of law, Mr. Banyaji, when you are not actually good when it comes to farming or when it comes to presentation like
Yes.
here. Also. So that's what maybe those people are giving as an excuse. But what I want to tell you is that most people are not satisfied. They are just crying foul out there. So the bottom line here is people should not be surprised if they see Honorable Chaguranyi's percentage in Buganda dwindling come 2026. Because I mean, these aggrieved people will not see it. Maybe at one point they want to work against the party. So that means it will be to the advantage of another party or another candidate. Therefore, when these results come out, people should not be shocked. If Bobi Wine, for example, I'm giving an example, got 40-something% in Uganda, this time if we see 20-something, let us not be shocked because of these things that have come in the process of electing the president. Then also, Banyaji, what I want to say is there are people we see, I don't know if they are doing it genuinely, but they are saying much as they did not give us that card, we are willing and ready to rally behind these people who are given cards to support them for the good of the party. Some of them are saying it genuinely, but maybe others are targeting that in case of any other thing that comes up, they are considered.
Okay.
So for me, like my friend Bush said, ideology matters. If there is a party that has no ideology, we have said this before, they will not succeed because at one point they will find themselves not believing or just agreeing over the same thing.
Okay, we're stopping for a break. When we come back, I'll give you a chance and we'll have Navas and Mufachinani. Good morning.
It's tough. It's bold. It's real politics. The Big Seat on 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music.
Great music.
Great friends.
Great friends.
It's real politics. The Big Seat on 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music.
Great music.
Great friends.
Great friends.
All right, welcome back from that very short commercial break on Western Uganda's biggest radio station, 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music, great friends. My name is Westige Banyaji. Yes, Bruce, before we went for a break, Bright, you had an issue.
It was a small issue about Semuju's concerns. He cannot appear before a councillor for a vetting. Yes, somebody can be a counselor with a PhD. Somebody can be a counselor with when he's
even more knowledgeable than any other
yeah,
person.
We have members of parliament who cannot even explain about themselves.
You are a counselor.
Yes.
You are a counselor. You don't know anything about parliamentary business. Why do you have to vet me who is going to parliament? What he was saying, why didn't they bring former MPs?
So who tells you?
Do they have former MPs who should have been the one to compose the EMC?
Would former MPs know exactly the ideology of the party and the test for loyalty?
You see, you need to understand the context of Semuju's statement. He's saying you cannot talk about things you don't know. You do not have authority over. And you are sending people there what you do not know about. And I am thinking the man was right 100%. Even if it were me, I wouldn't subject myself to a P2 dropout, to a counselor, to go to vet me to go to parliament where he has never been and doesn't know what is taking place.
But how come the same people go in cabinet, and sometimes cabinet is chaired by the prime minister? Of how much qualification is she to people that sit on that cabinet? Either way.
Once you are in parliament, you gain some experience how government is run. But the man has been a counselor, a mere counselor, LC3 counselor.
Another one has been a D.
Another one was a DJ, a disc joker.
The questionnaire.
And they are saying you vet someone to go to parliament.
The questionnaire,
yes.
The questionnaire that is used during a vetting committee is not drafted by the electoral management committee. It is approved by the executive board. Now, for those people, they sit and ask you according to the questionnaire. And it's for me to understand the roles of a member of parliament. It does not necessarily mean that I have to have gone to parliament. For me to understand the values of a party, it does not mean that I need to have been a member of parliament. So you cannot question the integrity of the capacity of a person because of his level of leadership. Somebody can be a councillor when he's more qualified than members of parliament in terms of academic and knowledge capacity. I am telling you, if it was an issue of integrity, Semuju Nganda himself and his PPF, when he was still in the FDC, he wouldn't have subjected to an election presided over by this man, Biabakama, who was a state attorney, persecuting Dr. Besige, on false allegations of rape and others. So I'm not mixing an issue. If you have an issue with a person, if you have an issue with, for example, there was an issue of integrity. People are saying that Jawakama, who had an issue with Dr. Besige, and you see, Semuju was subjecting himself to that election. So I'm saying the issue should remain on what, not who.
Okay. Navasa, you just heard Bruce and the other panelists on what happened in the NUP selection, if we may say it.
You see, Mr. Banyaji,
yes.
These political parties are public entities. They are funded by our taxpayers' money. So when we hear any bad thing in a political party, we as citizens, we as taxpayers' money, I mean the taxpayers, we get concerned. For example, in NUP now, as the leading opposition party, the party the party waiting to be in the government. When you see them now, they are chasing out credible people like Segona, Matia Rwanga in Wakso, Sechigozi. This lady from Mitiana. Now they are replacing them with foot soldiers. So I cry for my country. I cry for my country. Because now this
but your same country that has a political party called the Forum for Democratic Change,
you see,
did not hold any primaries for their flag bearers.
You see,
why didn't you start from your
now,
party?
In FDC, we used to have credible people in parliament. We used to have Kasiano Wadiris, Gerard Karangas,
why are you speaking
Nandara Mafabi. We used to have very credible people. Now, these people of NUP came and said, you have failed, let us be in charge now. Now they are in charge, leading us with musicians. You see this electoral management committee for NUP, it is consisting of DJs, councillors, foot soldiers. So even if I was Segona, I would not go to that election management committee headed by Sebu Ufu. You see, there is Sebu Ufu, one. He is a councillor for Nakawa East at the State Hall. Yes, there is this Alex Rovans.
Do you know his level?
Alex Rovans, he is a DJ with a DJ at Kavri. There is this lady, Aren Kabagambe. Aren Kabagambe, she was here in Western Uganda as a coordinator. He stays here in Chisenyi. Here. So when you see when you see the quality, you see now as the
Let's have
you see now moderator. You see when all of us went to school. When you go to school, you have lecturers, you have professors. So instead of the professor lecturing the students, now it was the students lecturing the lecturers. For example, Sisogona said, when he was inside, they brought a guitar to play some capella such that they can see whether he is credible or not. And Sagona was not well conversant with guitars.
Yes.
So Sagona was well conversant with the legislative agenda in parliament. That's even what happened to Dr. Roy Semboga. Dr. Roy Semboga in Kawempe South. Now he was replaced by Nyanzi. Nyanzi is he's not a Mai, but I'm told he's a broker. A broker in town.
But
finally,
what is
you
wrong
see,
with a broker?
You see,
I am a broker, but I am here moderating.
You see now,
what is
the role of election management committee for NUP.
Yes.
It is only to profile the candidates. Only they don't take decisions, and those decisions were taken by executive board headed by Bob Wine, his wife Babi Chagulani, Katana, and Ruth David Rubongoya captain, and Major Katana and Captain Rubongoya. That is the constituents of
You've
the
given them ranks.
board. No, they have ranks.
Okay.
And finally,
quickly.
Yes, finally on the issue of NUP. You see NUP. For them, yes.
Yes.
See for on
conclude.
this, yes, finally I'm concluding on this vetting, the vetting of NUP. You see, Vanyaji, these people, they are disturbing me.
Yes.
For the issue, as I conclude,
Yes.
I pray to the country that when the party are processing their candidates,
Yes.
they should produce the cream, because now we are going to rule the country. We are going to make policies for our wananchis.
Okay,
So
thank
you
you.
cannot bring a DJ to make a policy for roads, for oil and other sectors.
Thank you,
So seriously, we need to be serious on this. I thank you.
Moses,
With the ranks and all that.
I don't know why members of the NRM are very concerned with what's happening within the NUP. If the party made a decision to hand Walokaga a flag and deny it to Segona, how is it NRM's business?
Oh no, council. Let me tell you, to
Yes.
begin with, a political party is not a private business. It is a public entity. Government of Uganda, through the Electoral Commission, finances all political parties in Uganda that have MPs in parliament. NUP is enjoying my taxes. My money is being enjoyed by NUP people. So we have to get concerned to understand how are they conducting business, how are they using our money. That's why we are concerned. Actually, I want to begin by looking at the history of NUP. You see, NUP began as a people power movement. Without a political party, this was formed by the Nobert Mao of NUP, by people of the FDC, including Colonel Dr. Kizza Besigye, this man of Jema, Asmani Basalirwa, and all other Ken Ruchamus of CP. All that was people power. But because for them, they elected somebody who is not credible, Bob Wine, who does not stand, who has no substance in terms of having a stand on any issue. He later changed and went against them, formed the political party. Remember, these people were from political parties. That's where the death of people power began from. We said this is what they are saying, that political parties have failed to deliver what they call in quotes desirable change. Therefore, we need a vehicle that is going to unite all of us so that we can push as a solid group and they form the people power movement. Using Article 1 that people belongs to power, and being people power belongs to people. But later, this now he goes ahead inside alone with a few people form the political party called NUP. And you can see, like the Bible says, anything that is not formed on a firm foundation, it's like a house built on sand. When wind comes, it will take it. Wind has come, and one of the wind that has come to take NUP is the Election Management Committee. Because, for example, let's also look at how did it come into place, the Election Management Committee. What Bright is saying, that is the constitution. Actually, it is not true. I watched an interview by Segona saying he was mandated to do the constitution, which he did, but it's not yet operational. What you are saying was captured into their constitution, but it's not yet operational. They went ahead.
There is a court order.
They went ahead.
No.
They went ahead and
back the microphone.
They went ahead, but it's disrupting.
No.
It's not asking for permission. Is this allowed? But these new people are always like that.
Please, go
but
ahead.
what I'm saying is that they did not, if they wanted the process to be transparent, they would have called for nomination for applications. People who want to be on the committee, can you please apply? Then people go through a process. So that they were appointed. They were appointed. They were appointed by how they would identify you, how incompetent you are, that you are gullible in the sense that you can easily run on the whims of Bob Wine and the Kerik. They were just handpicked. If it was a normal process, maybe Bright would have applied. Maybe some people would have applied. And then they select a committee, which everybody will believe in, that this is our committee that we have instituted. But somebody in his bed decided to handpick some people and put them on the committee. Therefore, he who appoints you, you must act on his interest. You cannot act. It is not a political party. It is not a political party that appointed these people or that they are.
Allow me.
Them.
It's a small information.
It is a mere individual.
RDC can accept this information.
It
is a kind request. RDC.
Receive the information.
I accept this information.
Yes.
The Electoral Management Committee is appointed by the Executive Board, and it is approved by NEC. And I am telling you that all the people appointed to sit on that executive board have enough academic and integrity qualifications to sit on that board. That man of Rukonjiri is saying that a DJ, being a DJ does not mean that you are academically incompetent. It doesn't mean that you don't know what to do. There are very many DJs who have done wonders, who have improved the society, who have caused the change. So you cannot be on a radio like this one and start demeaning DJs as if they are redundant people who cannot even do anything. Okay, that's one. But you see, President Museveni appoints the cabinet. He even puts people we think, in our opinion, think that they don't even qualify to be councillors. For him, he makes them ministers. And sometimes most of these ministers have a record of stealing. Some of them have been convicted over corrupt allegations. Why do you think that? But because ministers are approved by Parliament, that's why we believe in them.
Let's link up in the second hour of the show. Good morning.
It's tough. It's bold. It's real politics. The Big Seat on 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music.
Great music.
Great friends.
Great friends.
Amanya gange nze Kiberu Paul ndi mutuuze wa Kawanda nanyiga star 185 hash then nengenda ku payments nengenda ku school fees nensasula school fees z'abaana ndi musanyufu nnyo olwa kabonero kano ak'okuddiza ka Airtel nkubiriza ba customer ba Airtel nti banaye tusasule school fees ku Airtel Money.
Don't miss out. Use the My Airtel app or dial star 185 star 6 hash now. Somewhere.
bold. It's real politics. The Big Seat on 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music,
Great music.
great friends.
Great friends.
We are Western Uganda's biggest radio station, 91.2 Cruise FM, great music, great friends. My name is Wesley Banyaji. We are right into the second hour of the show. Don't forget, you can be a part of the conversation this morning. If you drop us your opinion on our topic of discussion on X 912 Cruise FM, on Facebook 91.2 Cruise FM, and on the calls on 752 912 912 and 780 912 91. So let's check what's on our social media, and before we get back to the panel, we put a question on what you think about the internal strife within the National Unity Platform over the credibility of its vetting process for parliamentary flag bearers. Tension so deep that some members have renounced their party membership. What does this reveal about NUP's ability to manage internal contradictions and maintain unity as it heads to the 2026 elections? We have Vincent Mukama on X saying, Mr. Banyaji, unfortunately, in studio there is a man of FDC spreading lies, and you continue giving him space to spread more lies without proof. Seriously, how can he say that NUP is full of DJ? Shame upon him. Is Joel Senyonyi a DJ? NUP's electoral management committee has professors and doctors. Let me just remind you. Vincent Mukama there, thank you for the contribution. Joseph Mayuya saying the NUP card was meant to be given to a member, not all of them. The problem with these guys, everyone thinks is bigger than those who are given cards. I see Paul Muzira who is saying the key role of a member of parliament is legislation, and you bring on Walkaga and then you think you are ready to challenge the acting government. My dad Simon Peter is appreciating the show and is listening from Rugamba, Rwampara. Technical Institute in Shema. The people of NUP should know that any slight mistake they can be treated unfairly. Then Jonathan, you say you're appreciating and you're saying, I look at NUP as a strong and successful party. Jonah Innocent on X, you're saying, my question is one, why are NRM and other parties concerned about the way NUP does its activities? I think that has been explained well. Noamanya Edson, you're saying there will be no decision that will satisfy everyone. The problem is, in Uganda's, it's greed and self-interest. Let me come back to the panel. I will later on pick your calls. Bright, we can forgive the party for so many. But how do you explain Luyirika, who applied to be member of parliament for Kampala, and you're giving them Makindye West? And she has categorically on so many fora come out to say, I applied to be a member of parliament for Kampala. We can defend you on so many of the things that you're doing, but how do you explain that?
First of all, Mr. Banyaji, I don't sit on the electoral management committee.
I expected that response.
I don't also sit in the executive board. But what I've been told is that the party reached the extent of taking a decision, because you see, they badly needed Ririka, and they also needed the Shami Marende. So we used a harmonization strategy of inviting the interested parties and ask them to stand for each other, stand down for each other, so that we achieve what we want to achieve using those two ladies. You see, we have fighters whom we have identified, whom we know that when they appear in parliament, the fight will continue. But we have people who have been a bit sleeping on job. You invite them for a caucus meeting, they don't come. You invite them for anything, they don't want to appear. So basically they have been there. But now there are those who have been seen openly, enjoying sausages with NRM people, and they seem not to be party members. Like when you see how they live, somebody says the parliamentary work is largely on registration. I want to disagree with him that yes, I believe in registration as a role of a member of parliament, but now the bigger role is representation. if you don't know that really representation is the biggest constitutional mandate of a member of parliament, then you are off topic. We is saying that the people that they have given a flag or cards, we know, we are confident that they are going to represent their people. Okay. What we need as Ugandans is representation, not registration. We have enough laws. The seconders, the what have made laws, they are there. But unfortunately, some of these laws are not being even followed. They are selectively being implemented. When a big man steals, he runs and he hides himself at the back of the president.
Thank you.
So the issue...
I want to disagree with him. One, these people were never invited later, because if I apply for the position of, say, constituency X, how do you transfer me to constitution Y without again calling us and say, please, maybe we had these issues, can we invite now new application?
I am telling you, I am giving information.
And remember, Council Banyaji, the person who was repressed by that speaker of KCCA at one time was in prison for many years. The man developed careless complications. This is how they have rewarded him.
No, this
when we say these people are jokers, we mean it. For example, you are saying you want to use parliament as a platform to push the struggle.
Yes.
Remember, Article 6 of the Constitution says official business in Uganda shall be in English. You are removing a lawyer from parliament and sending a person who cannot express himself in English for 2 minutes.
Who is that?
Warukaga.
That is not true.
It is very true and factual.
It's not true.
It is true.
But I have seen videos
the universities. Why do you blame the university
that man is my neighbor? That man is my neighbor. I know
that doesn't matter.
So what I'm saying,
you've had videos, we've watched videos of that gentleman eloquently speaking.
Not at all. Why is him now an issue being discussed on what country? These are the issues you don't want to hear this, but this is the reality on the ground. Because this parliament is not a contest for singing. No, it is a contest of brain power for lawyers, by the way.
But should now parliament be made of only lawyers?
We are not saying so. But even when we are bringing other people, should be competent. This man is very incompetent. He cannot express himself in the official language of Uganda. And we are sending him, removing an MP, a lawyer, a law done. And when we call you jokers, we mean it, but we are very annoyed that NUP majors in a minor and minors in a major.
Okay, thank you. Bruce, the question perhaps I would put to you. There's been an argument of nepotism. Chagulanyi allocated a constituency to the brother, the sister in Gomba, but we are quick to forget that Janet Museveni Kataha is a minister of education and is the wife of the president.
Well, I'm going to get to that,
yes.
But I don't understand this self-importance and entitlement by intellectuals, especially lawyers.
Yes.
Even other people have a right to contribute to the struggle. It is not a must that it should
no,
be lawyers in parliament. Can you please behave? I was listening to you.
Yes.
So, but for me, I want to sit and put myself in the shoes of that EMC or the executive board. And let's have a broader discussion and look at NUP. What are the best interests of NUP when they are looking at this entire thing? We must remember that there are different calculations in all this. One is the financial aspect of it. The Political Parties Organization and Organizations Act is very clear. Parties are funded depending on their numerical strength.
Yes.
The number of MPs you have in what? In parliament. 2, these MPs you have in parliament, there is a mandatory remittal, an amount they are supposed to commit to the party. I think every month from their official salaries.
It varies from party to party. I think NRM is 500,000, NUP is $1 million. Yes.
Yes. The struggle has a lot of logistical demands. It also needs resources. So even when you're doing external mobilization from the diaspora and friendly forces and the other people, you also need that number in parliament to be able to convince people to ally with you. So NUP looks for the most popular candidate. If it is Warukaga, it is going to go with Warukaga. It doesn't matter whether you are a Sogona
now-
or you have a PhD. I'm coming to that.
No one is disputing that they want people who will attract the biggest number of votes.
Yes.
The question is on the process of arriving at that individual.
Yes.
Is what is being disputed.
Yes, and I'm telling you what are their interests.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Please.
Even if the process is fraud, but if they achieve their interests, that is what matters.
Okay.
The end means.
It justifies the means.
Another thing is we must also agree there was insubordination. Segona and the group had indiscipline issues.
Yes.
When they had disagreements with Mpuga, and by the way, so very many other issues. At one point, Joyce Wagara spent almost a year without going to the party headquarters, and she was all over the media saying things that do not align with what they call their party principles,
Yes.
and what was the official position at that time. We must also dispel the impression you want to create that NUP cannot survive without these intellectuals. No, at any point, nobody is indispensable in the struggle. You've read literature about the protracted war struggle in the bush. People were executed, even when they were commanders. Even then in the bush, there were deep cracks between intellectuals who had come from Makerere and the fighters who were doing the real job. These were desk officers. The other thing is, okay, if the best interests of the party are these, and we are not about selfish interests, why can't Segona, since we are not going to Parliament demand is very technical. It is policy, it is a law, passing laws, oversight committees, and all those reports. They need the intellectual side. But also mobilization, like Warukaga is doing on the grassroots, is also important. Why is it a do or die that Segona must be in Parliament? He has already served 3 terms. He's saying, I have contributed to this struggle. I went to Arua and rescued Bobby Wine. I've been to the court martial. I've been in 2 courts demanding for political prisoners. Why doesn't he now concentrate on that? Is it a must that he must be in Parliament? Can't he do another contribution
But is that
to the struggle?
Is that realistic?
Yes.
We know very well that individually we have interests.
Yes.
At an individual level, Segona's interests.
And I can
That
tell
must
you,
be bigger than the party
do you
interest.
know that in 2016, when Segona was under DP, the percentage he got and the number of votes he got, when he went to NUP, they almost tripled. On that wave. So for me, I'm very happy that Bobby Wine is refusing to fall for these antics of intellectuals, of the elites. About nepotism. There is no law in the constitution, for instance, in our party, in the NRM, that bars Nzire from participating just because he is Museveni's brother.
But each time Museveni advises his brothers to withdraw and cede for other people.
That is for him. Like you said, isn't the wife a minister of education and other relatives?
Isn't the son a CDF?
So, and by the way, that Betty of that Bobby Wine's sister is a very solid candidate. I don't know if you know in Gomba there.
Yes.
She had contested actually even in 2021, and people did not do what? Did not vote her. So if they are not going against any other law, let them take. Which child?
The children were given party cards.
Which children?
The daughter of Nyanzi was given a card here in Kampala.
To present what?
For Makerere.
What is wrong with that?
And because of tribalism we are raising, I am telling you they are using it.
That is not tribalism, that is nepotism.
There is a difference between tribalism
that's
and
nepotism.
So let them go back to the people and the people are going to decide. But for me, I have a very fundamental problem with intellectuals like Omujugujugu who think the struggle is entirely about them. Even, and by the way, that has been unfair for most times.
I want to
people who sacrifice for the struggle. People who, by the way, there are people who are rotting in prison, who have never been brought to court, and they have spent now 5 years in Chitaria and Ruzira.
Thank you.
So they have paid the heaviest price. In fact, the Segonas are just eating from the people's blood.
Yes. Sifa,
but as Sifa is coming,
no. Sifa should come directly. No. Sifa, I want you to address the element of nepotism. If you're quickly saying, wait, Chagulanyi, you just gave your brother, who is all over the place in all constituencies. He's not a resident of Kawempe. The other term he contested to be member of parliament representing Kampala Central. This man was in NRM just yesterday, and he was literally a chairman, I think, of a county of something in Kampala on the NRM. And now he's being given a ticket ahead of a person that we think is the most competent. Nepotism within these political organizations.
But do you know also Roy Semboga had defied the party position and contested as independent? However, you know how much I admire him and on a personal level.
Yes.
But he had also defied the party position. So the party is also right. He knows, and I can tell him also. It is right for him to be denied the flag. If they say yes.
Last time he was told stand down. We are going to give it to you in 2026. That was the deal they made.
Okay, speak to the microphone then.
I am saying,
since you're a dictator.
In a second, yes. Roy Semboga is my personal friend. Last time he was not given a flag and was told, please step down. We shall give it to you in the next general election.
So why did he contest as an independent?
Now this general elections came. Again, they have given it to a brother.
Why did he contest as an independent?
What kind of nepotism is that? It is very unfortunate.
Nobody
and I
can
want
be
also
bigger
to make
than
this point very clear. I want to make this point very clear.
No,
define the party position and contested an
nobody can
independent
be bigger
candidate.
than a
Mpuga has
political
said
party.
that in a struggle, there are two categories of people. One who must lead the struggle and others be led. The problem with NUP thinks everybody can lead.
Okay.
Which is very bad.
Thank you.
Also they have failed to have what to call contention of the disagreement or contradiction, internal contradiction. They do not have a mechanism how to deal with them. How do you fail to, because they are not patient?
Release the microphone.
I have released it, but I'm saying they should be patient and tolerant and have a mechanism of dealing with party disagreements, because it's important to have party cohesion.
The good thing he has left the gun in the car.
I decided to take it easy, Banyaji. I decided to give him time.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so I want to go direct to the question you asked me about nepotism. You see, when you have a wife and you have a side chick, and this side chick is ever criticizing the wife, she's this, she's that, she's bad, she's that. So when this side chick should work to ensure that at least she's better in those fields in that regard. So NUP has always said that there is nepotism in NRM, and maybe they have tried even to explain it and justify it and all that. But now that we are talking of Nyanzi, who is actually, if you ask me, is a reject. He goes to Nakawa, they say we don't want to see you here. He goes to, at one point they even said he's going to, is it Lira or Arua, things like that. So for me, yes, it was all over the place. No break.
Continue.
Can be, but
I didn't see that coming.
No, please, it was all over the place. He said he wanted to go to Arua, then the people of Arua, all those things. So if you ask me, he's a reject. Yes. But now if you say that you're insisting and putting him somewhere, then you're telling some other people that you're dictating for your brother. So for me, like someone said, I mentioned here some time back and say that if I gave an example of this son of Mr. the chairman electoral commission in NRM, Odoi. Collins Odoi. I said here he has a right. If he qualifies and people vote for him, it's very okay. But it's different for this man here now, Nyanzi. You put him here, people do not want him. Then you shift him to that place and all that. That is quite not good. But I want to bring another point where when he was unveiling the committee, Mr. Bongoya, the secretary for NUP, said they want to, to paint a very different image from what people know about NUP. But I don't think they're achieving this so far. Because we saw, for example, Mr. Honorable Chivumbi, that is the president for Buganda, I think.
Yes.
He said that nobody should ask them about anything to do with vetting. They have the powers. And people were saying, really? Is this what we are seeing? We are saying Museveni is a dictator, but we are seeing dictators much more, even worse than him. So for me, people would have liked it. And of course, we know that NUP has supporters. But if these things keep happening, I want to tell you that I've said it is going to weaken NUP more and more in the coming years. And that's why I said the results are going to reflect what the people are thinking in their heads. Then there is also an issue we are talking about of elites. It is not written anywhere that if a lawyer stands with a musician or a hawker or something, then the lawyer should have the upper hand, or a farm or anything. People have the right to choose. He excels and automatically he makes it. So for me, we've seen people who are not even qualified in anything in parliament.
And they are lawyers who can't even draft.
And we are seeing lawyers and other professionals in parliament who are dumb and not doing anything. So for me, it's not about professional Banyaji.
Yes.
Again,
Let's give Sifa time.
So it brings me again to this particular issue of Segona and Warukaga. What Kagai said is more loyal, and like my friend said, he's so good at mobilizing. We all know that. And like I said, I wouldn't have a problem with these people dropping Segona and bringing Walkaga. We might think maybe they made a mistake, but it might be good for them. It might be a very good strategy. And there are people who are saying, yes, at least you are not showing that this party belongs to a few people, and people are happy about it. Then I also want to comment about, by the way, the issue by Banyajo of availability. These elites seem to think they have a lot to do. They are not available for the party or every time they are needed, and they're not loyal, like I said. But then again, they ask so many questions. So if say Warukaga go and do this and that, and he say yes, people will think that is good for the party. But if you say, Mr. Segon, I'm busy, I have a meeting here and there, it's not good for politics. Professions and politics sometimes do not match. So for me, I have no problem with that. But I want to end this submission by saying that, like I've always said here, what we need is peace in these elections. If, for example, you're saying Mwishamuntu is in Rwampara and you feel you're not interested in listening to what he's saying, just give space. If you say that Bob Wine is coming to Mbara and I don't like to hear what he's saying, let me not go there instead of going there and causing chaos and all that. Because there are people who like him, much as you don't like him. But then also, this sense of entitlement, like someone said, if you think you're in NRM and you can do anything you want and you're not, no, that's not good. Because we've heard of cases here of people starting to, sounding like they own this country. Somewhere, sometime back, like last week, and someone was introducing himself that he's a media coordinator for PLU, something like that. But the way he was speaking, arrogant and all that, actually that's why some people do not like Mr. Honorable Segona. When he's speaking, he's arrogant. It's like the world is rotating around him, and that is not politics. You should come down to the level of the people you're mobilizing.
Yes.
So for me, I want to tell these people of NRM, we like President Museveni, you like President Museveni, we like NUP, we like what, but do not speak like you own this world.
Okay.
If they say NUP is coming, then, I mean, don't come here and start saying things you don't have knowledge about because you want people to hate NUP or something like that.
Let me pick let me pick feedback from Facebook. Tasho, no, sir, this is my show. Tashovia Eli says, since we are in a multi-party system, it's your right to choose the best party. So before, when they were holding that party, who vetted them? I think the same committee is the one that scrutinized the MPs. Dallas officials saying the internal conflicts in NUP potentially is undermining the party's prospects in the 2026 election. Morris Crescent, you're saying I assume 7 families still the driving force in Uganda. Chiza Robert, you're saying let me first contact Segona and Sewana to come back. I see a couple of you saying Terry Bryan, you're saying NUP is doing the right thing. Best J has a chance to chase Monga and Taebwa and failed. Paul Tumsime, I see you. Arinda Gerard, there's so many of you. Let me end with Chitone or where Simbu says whoever joined NUP with a sole reason to use NUP to get breacher or a milk card will quickly leave NUP if they don't get the flagship. And whoever joined NUP because of a good cause will definitely fight for the good governance of the country. Let me come back to let me pick calls on 752-912-912 and 780-912-910. On 752-912-912 and 780-912-910. The big set. Yes, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yes, what's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Agaba Gilias and I'm calling from Chitorenko, that is in Bishenyi district.
Yes, Agaba in Bishenyi.
Really it hurts Banaji for the party of youth vandalizing the way it did.
Yes.
And you get my friend right just to criticize him. I want to tell you the reason why people are being deserted from opposition, because this Mr. Museveni and his wife Janet Kataha, they need assurance. What they need assurance. This kind of opposition of yet and the others, they will not assure him that if he gives up his government, he will live at peace. We need arrangements that Angola did as a country when the South Eduardo led that country after 39 years. They assured him that they did.
Okay.
Right, that's what we need in Uganda. We don't get such a mockery you are doing. We need that arrangement. We need to assure them seven and the woman. Why do you just do mockery as you criticize? It has nothing.
Okay, thank you, Agaba. There. Let me go to Cruise TV. Alexander 256, you're watching Jugu from Barra City. Chembo Pius, you're watching from Kampala. Akankunda Marvin, I am watching from Bushenyi. You're watching from Bushenyi. Kobu Manziviki, you're saying hello. Banyaji, well done. Watching from Uganda, Kagongo. Alex Martinelli, you're streaming live from Ruyaga. Omwana Atangakana. Brian, you're watching from Kampala. Nahabwe Jr., you're saying Bobby Wine thinks because Museveni has ruled with fellow soldiers, then he must rule with fellow musicians. Then Maniro Mushoni Clifton, you're saying you're appreciating us and you're watching all the way from Voice Hotel in Entebbe. Let me end with the Namugwano Asha saying that you're watching from Ginger City. I want to appreciate you so much. Let me pick on 752-912-912 and 780-912-910. The big set.
Kaine program oko koti witu na over story. Hello, brother.
Yes, Chairman. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you doing?
I'm doing perfectly well.
How is Mutilane?
Mutilane is amazing. How is Kamwenje?
Kamwenje, we are better. The Kasana is out because we are not complaining, bro.
That's good.
So I want to first thank the panelists that you have in the studios of Cruise FM for just good things that I can build our nation.
Okay.
And secondly,
we are listening. We've unfortunately lost you. I have teacher Agaba Benson who is saying, I'm now telling those people of NRM that NUP are more organized than any other party. I would like to inform them that DJ Odre became a president in Madagascar and removed dictator Mark Ravenoman. So they should stop that familiarity. I have another parcel. Let me read the message. I have Tumuhimbise Brian. You're listening to the show and you're saying you're watching from Kampala. You're sending voters in parliament instead of competent people. For example, look at Mathias and compare with Segona. If you can't do a cappella, then no card. Oh well. I see that message coming in. I have Chris Betunga who is listening to the show. And so many of you that are catching the show, I want to appreciate you so much. Frank Bianyuma, my good friend. Bianyuma Frank, you're listening to the big set. And so many, I know there are places that have a loud sound and everyone converges to listen to the show. We want to appreciate you so much. On 752-912-912 and 780-912-910. The big set. Yes, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
As usual, Enoka Kuruza, Minitempana.
Yes, please.
I want to tell you that man, the president of Ukraine, he was a comedian. So they should stop saying that to many DJs here.
Okay. Let me pick the very last call and I come back to the. Yes. Good morning. Ndire kurunji shaniwe.
Ndire kurunji. Kanye bagaba bari mu studio yaho.
Yes, please.
Eni manyangu buli omwa kuba hari muhango takwenda muhanga muri yarubazo. Material ya mafi ya fintuga okareba segoda n'abantu abanyabwenge mitwe olitikale n'abanyabwenge bobo wali narengo bamugumari bazumba za kwenda entebe yo niko kusanga na kumana basindika mpora. Ngenda Gundi atugamba y'amazima muhumuza bwayi. Bakande tibasatu bakasaba umwanya. Baraza omu interview zone kuba kutebe zone kwenda konsa. Finally tubarara biremu barondo ndize no batireho atugambere exactly what criteria used to do that.
All right, we've gotten that. I want to thank you for that contribution.
It's a 10:30 a.m. Your local time check.
it's tough, it's bold, it's real politics. The Big Seat on 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music.
Great music.
Great friends.
Great friends.
All right, it's a 10 o'clock on Western Uganda's biggest radio, 91.2 Cruise FM. Great music. Good friends. I still have the same team with me in studio. Yes, Bright.
I want to say something about nepotism.
Quickly.
People who are people are saying that the National Unity Platform has given a flag to the relatives of my president. I'm telling them that in last elections, Eddie Away was given a flag of National Unity Platform. In Chila, he lost. Nyanza lost. That lady you are talking about from Mugomba was given a flag in last election. She lost. So that's not a big issue. The issue is, after giving them a flag, how much influence do you put on them? You see, for us, why we deviate from, why we are different from NRM, is that when the NRM Museveni's relatives are given flags, you see the state agents backing them, UPDF. You see them ordering, shooting at the people who don't support them. But here, even if they are relatives of my president, when I give a flag, you never see the president of my party insisting on them, campaigning for them. So if they don't work hard, they are going to lose.
Okay,
they are going to lose. So, lastly, Mr. Banyaji, I am telling you, I want to say it again, that life is not going to end with going to parliament. You can still be relevant, you can still contribute the liberation endeavors for your country, even when you are not a councillor, even when you are not a member of parliament. Some of these constituencies we are fighting for, Mr. Banyaji, I want to repeat it, that are going to be scrapped off. Mr. Chagwanyi, send them the one I know. With the team you know, the General Secretaries and those ones, you know the group. Yes. They are not going to accept to preside over a country over 600 members of parliament. Okay. Some of these positions we are fighting for in February, they want to be removed. Okay. And we shall
thank you. Let's have Navasa. No. Yes, Navasa. Nepotism.
Yes. On nepotism in the National Unity Platform, it is so high. For example, now, Bobo Wine got his friend Dwaiso Mfumbero from Busoga. He brought him here in Nakawa. And he removed the Barumwezio to be sacrificed for road mayorship. But whom he knows that he is not going to know. You wait.
But Moezo has not been given a flag.
You see now, he has a flag. Now, you go to...
Let's have order. Yes.
Okay, now you go to the singing pattern for Bob Wine, Nubi and Ri, Arbu Kenny. Now he was given a flag in Nakawa to be a mayor. And they repressed Mugambe, who was working for Nakawa, who was working on roads. He was working.
Mugambe has been given a flag for Nakawa.
No. So now, okay, now you go to Rubongoya, Captain Rubongoya.
No. Are you saying that Rubongoya does not have the NUP flag?
No, Rubongoya has it, but what I'm saying, Paul Mugambe for Nakawa has been sent to Parliament.
And which constituency? Which constituency? Nakawa East is for Joel Senyon. Nakawa West, Nakawa West is Joel Senyon. Nakawa East is for Waisom Fumbiro. Now, about which constituency are you talking? No.
Let me give you information.
Give us information.
Let me give you information. The card for Mufumbiro has been withdrawn. And it has been given to Paul Mugambe. Get it from me. So the process is still ongoing. Even those ones who have flag, who have a card now, that card can be withdrawn from you and people nominate.
So they protect me. Protect me. I submit. Yes.
Let's allow him submit.
Okay. Now for the case of the SG, Captain Rubongoya, now he was given a flag for Kampala Central. He was given for Kampala Central.
You cannot accept this. You cannot accept
prevent this. You cannot allow this man to continue calling my Secretary General captain without evidence. You ask him. You are right. He's not a UPDF officer.
All the microphones are off right now. I'm the only person speaking right now. Let's have order. But what? Let me guide. Please, these are not military officials, so don't give them ranks.
I'm saying captain, it means someone who captain the team. You see now, he's the chief of staff for the National Unity Platform.
Please.
So now for Rubongoya, you see the problem I have with these NUP people. Instead of extending the struggle, instead of going to constituencies where they don't have people, they are bringing even the few they have from the constituencies to the liberated areas. That is the nepotism we are what I'm talking about. Now they went.
So Rubongoya not standing in Kambarara.
He would. You see now, for Rubongoya, he would be adding a value in Western Uganda. Because of that nepotism, they wanted him to win. So they just got him from Mbarara here. Instead of expanding their territories, they take him to Kampala in the already liberated area. Now you go to Wakso for LC5 chairpersons. This Nasif Naja, he is a personal friend to Bob Wine. Nasif Naja, he was given a flag because he is a personal friend to Bob Wine, and they sent away Chigozi, Sempera Chigozi Musajari Abene, the very competent man. He was a member of parliament, he has experience, but they don't want to see that. You go now to Busoro, you go to Busoro South. Busoro South, they gave it to Matov Emmanuel. Instead of giving it to Rwanga Abganika, the current chairperson for Wakso district. Because Matov now he is there, he is always at the cavalry. Now you go to Machi in the west, where Murianyama, the former mayor, Ari Murianyamanganda. One, you wanted to be a road mayor. They said you will not go there. You be there, we shall get to your constituents. Now we applied now to be a mayor again. No, they said no, you wait. You see, for the fact, Nganda Murianyam, he is a dropout. Nganda, I know him very well. Okay, that's how the nepotism in the party it is. Yes, so I call upon NUP. Always when you are choosing, you choose the competence over nepotism and other relationships.
Okay, thank
yes.
you.
Council Banyaji, one, I want to request you that in the future you reign over these NUP people, especially Bright. There is a way how he handles the studio. He wants to and you can imagine if they can do this when they are not in power. You test them with power, they will go back. That's why we are saying we must protect the gains. Council Banyaji, sincerely speaking, we want to request the NUP people to always have what we call set rules and regulations.
But maybe Mufachinani, the question I should put to you and Bruce. If NUP is choosing to give weak leaders flags, I thought it would be playing in your court. You would benefit.
For you,
for me, Banyaji, I wanted to make a rebuttal on that, but I forgot. You see, a parliament, it is a national parliament. Yes. It belongs to all of us. So when they are passing a legislation about human rights, we are all humans. It concerns me whether I'm in NRM or for instance, if they are saying there is a law being passed on public assembly, whether Bright assembles or I assemble, it is a national law. It is we are going to be either on the good side of the law, on the bad side of the law. So it is not that we should be very happy because they are weak candidates. The NUP is choosing weak candidates. No.
Okay.
You see, what is happening in NUP? Those who read history and remember Hitler of Germany, the dictatorship he had, that's the dictatorship they are building in NUP. They are saying, they are even employing the 48 rules of power, never outshine your master, rule number 1. Whoever is more competent than the party president must go. And they are kicking one by one. Actually, Second, at one time says, I want to be the party president. He's on record having said so. And that statement, that is where his problems began from.
But where is Amama Mbabas, who wanted to be president of the NRM? Where is Captain Mike Mukula, who wanted to be president of the NRM? Where is Magulu, who wanted to be chairperson
Are
of
they
that party?
complaining? But these people of NUP, for them, they are complaining. Is Mbabas complaining? Is Captain Magulu complaining? Is Mike Mukula complaining? They came and they lost interest along the way, and it is okay. But for us, we are saying these people are complaining. Actually, we are concerned they might develop mental issues and they die, and we lose Ugandans. We want them. Why do you suffocate people? Why don't you allow democracy? Why don't you allow internal democracy to take place? Because somebody said, I'm going to stand for new president, for new president, and say we must deal with that person using what you could describe as a conclave EMC to kick out people. That's very unfortunate, and we condemn it sincerely.
Friends.
All right, we have about 17 minutes to 11 o'clock on Western Uganda's biggest radio station. We're on the last lap of the show and want to appreciate all of you that are locked on the radio, Day-to-Day Supermarket, Ruby's Petrol Station, Total Rubicon, thank you so much, Home of Chapati, and all these places that have their radio very loud listening to the big set. It happens every Saturday morning, 9 a.m. to 11. What happens is we sit, talk about matters that concern all Ugandans. And this morning we've been talking about the dynamics within the NUP. What does it mean for the party, but also for the democracy of our country, since we all stakeholders. Going forward, we've talked about there could be mistakes, there could be pains of growth in the party. But now we're going to project of what we think should happen in the next term, but also an assessment of the campaign so far. We know Mugisha Muntu will be in Rampara today. President Museveni will be in Lira. Chagulanyi is still in Busoga. Mafabi is in Bundubucho and in Toroko. And Bright, do you still think NUP will take Buganda and Busoga, going by the momentum you already see on the campaign trail?
Definitely. The score will be more higher than the performance will be better than we did last time, because the issues we were raising in the last campaigns have not changed. Instead, more issues have come on board, and more Ugandans have started realizing that President Museveni's mission is to entrench himself, his family in power forever. That's why last time the issue of his son had not come to on the political scene. But now during this term that we are ending now, we saw very many people saying, calling for the coming of the sun. So in other words, for us, we're saying that Uganda deserves a peaceful transition, not a succession. Okay. Some people are saying that, and you see, that succession question is a big question for NRM to answer. People think there are many issues which have not been attended to.
That question has been answered. The president has said Uganda has a constitution. Power is predictable of how it moves from one person to another.
But you see, Mr. Wanyaji, yes. I am always saying that issues that will increase our votes. It's one of the issues, because the people are saying that through the lines, through the curtains, they are saying that there are chances of bringing the son to replace the president, which will be a succession. And for us, we're saying that the government, which is supposed to be delivering on their promises on service delivery issues, I mean, the services are going to dogs. As I speak now, the teachers are striking. Even local government workers are striking. It is in Uganda where workers must strike first for them to get what they deserve. So we're saying unemployment levels have increased.
access to. You see, that time we were saying when Umeme goes away, we are going to have a cut on electricity tariffs. But now the Umeme has gone, and the electricity is increasing instead. So there are many issues, and because of those many other issues that have come on board, we expect a very serious increase in our performance, and we are going to win this election. I only want to urge the listeners of Cruise Radio to now start looking out for candidates who raise issues that matter to their survival, and that candidate is none other than His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, Bob Wine. Vote him for a new Uganda.
Thank you, Bright. I'm going to ask one question to the three of you, Sifa, Umujugujugu and Bruce. The president in 1996 got 74%. That was to about 4.4 million votes. In 2001, got 69.3%. That's about 4.4 still. There was a slight decrease there. Then in 2006, 59.2%. 2011, he upped about to 68%. Then 2016, 60%, then dropped to 58%. What does this mean? Literally, the president's percentages have been on a slope dropping. Are we expecting any growth? You predicted that the president would win by about 80%. Is this realistic?
To begin with, in 2001 and 1996, when he stood with Paul Samogere, political parties were not so vibrant. But today we have very many political parties which were vibrant, and as I said, we were in the movement system then, not until 2005 when we went into multi-party system of dispensation. But because now political parties have come on board, these are new. They also need customers to take it as a business. If you have been having a monopoly, and now new businesses come onto board, they will also tap into the same market, so they will be taking away some customers.
But if you're too good to walk away from, then you would still retain your value. By the fact that these numbers are dropping, it makes a statement about
the point I'm saying is the other political parties that have come on board have really made some of our support go down. But I also have good news for you. In this Chisanja, everybody is going to be shocked. President himself is going to score over 80%.
Okay, thank you.
Himself is going to ask himself, where has all this support been? Do you know why? Because of some of the government programs that have come, like PDM, that has put some money in the pockets of the Ugandans.
Thank you.
They are going to vote him overwhelmingly.
Bruce, same question. The president's performance, what's your projection?
Well, of course, there has been both institutional fatigue and personal fatigue by the president and also the NRM. 40 years, to be honest, is a very, very, very long period. But there have also been other dynamics. When you look at the population, more youth, people have come on board, political consciousness, and they are willing to participate in the management of their public affairs. So, but I also anticipate that this time, the president is going to increase on that percentage. I've already sensed it and seen it. Another, I want to also agree with Mufachinanye. And you see, for the first 20 years, there was almost no mercy. There was a lot of calm before BSJ wrote that popular letter that in 1999. And then when we went to multi-party dispensation, the vibrance of political parties also changed the
voting pattern,
the dynamics. And when we were launching the manifesto, I watched in amusement. The president said that he wonders why youth leave jobs here and they go to the Middle East to look for jobs. And Mufachinanye, it seems like your leader is losing touch with the grassroots, and he's failing to read the national mood. So unemployment is the most outstanding question for him. Because if you find 68% of your population are youth, the bigger part are unemployed or they are in the informal sector, you're always going to have a problem. So if he does not address unemployment, especially in the youth, then he's going to face a bigger challenge.
Thank you. Asifa. Same question.
Same question, but before that, allow me to comment briefly on the fact that
Please go right ahead.
Banyaji, of course, we will not, I have to say this, I'm a woman and all that. Politics comes with a lot of things, antagonism, intrigue and all that. But specifically, I want to talk about issues of love and relationships. We had a long time story with people saying that Zara really, actually, I'm trying to say, people are saying he was misplaced from Kampala to whatever. Actually, she has even survived because I hear there was a plot to have her eliminated from Kampala, and they're saying the person behind it is an allegation that it's Bobby, and she was saying that she's in love with Bobby Wine. It took her courage to be on media and saying, I'm not in love with Bobby Wine, please, Bobby, leave me alone and all that. So for me, all these things come in. But another factor is...
You've raised
NUP,
serious dust.
Yes. In NUP, you should never be seen next to an NRM leader. Actually, it's an allegation, but it can be confirmed true. Yes.
Yeah?
But
if he's indeed harvesting, that's the man harvesting.
I said it's an allegation. So, Banyaji, another factor for NUP. Actually, some people have lost this flag because they were seen next to someone NRM
one
leader.
of
Maybe a
mobilization.
mayor, President Museveni, a minister, or whatever. So for them, you should never be seen anywhere close. Actually, you heard of rumors when they were saying that Peter has not been given that flag because he attended a function at Lakeview and all that. So for them, being seen with someone who is in line with the leadership of this country is but they should remember that the country is ours. Wabo leader wa NUP bakakurebo in President Museveni means that should be okay. Ekikuru chingwa you delivering.
President Museveni's projection.
Before that, there is a caller who said that Bobby Wine feels insecure with some leaders around him, and he's right. People like Matira Rangabwanka should not have been denied this chance because we know what he is capable of doing. He's a very good person, much as he was in NUP, but very good, very active environmentalist and all that. So, by messenger up on that note. Then again, you said, why should people of NRM and other people be concerned about the quality of leaders NUP chooses? But you know, at the end of the day, quality of leaders affects service delivery.
Yes.
If we want a mayor for Kampala, Kampala is for all of us. To a mayor capable. I wouldn't mind who or what, but as long as Nabasa kuba in touch with the agenda of government, then I can dropping the country. But finally, you're saying that trends have been dropping for President Museveni and all that. Whatever it has been like, I want to assure you that this time around, the percentage is going up, especially in Kampala. With those people, the ghetto guys, with the youth and all that. So for me, in other places, we know it's going to be a block vote, like in Western Uganda, in North Eastern and all that. But specifically Kampala, it's going to be to the advantage of the president this time around.
Okay, thank you. Navas, projection of the NRM, what's your projection of your performance in these elections as the Forum for Democratic Change as we get out of studio?
As Forum for Democratic Change, which sits at Najana Nkumbi Prot 1164, we are going to perform very well for this time because we have a capable candidate. We have resources at our disposal.
You finally said it.
Yes.
You finally admitted.
No. We are, as the party, we are funded by the government through iPod. And we are going to share about 11.5 billion. We have redundant money on our disposal. Again, we have structures all over the country. We have a good message. We have a good manifesto of fixing economy, money in our pockets. What we are fighting for as citizens, we want money in our pockets to manage, to take our children to school, to manage other bills, health, what, to develop ourselves. So as the FDC, I'm seeing even the crowd now. Yesterday we were in Ginger. I saw very many people coming to hear our message of money in our pockets. So I urge all the people who are out there to come in big numbers. You vote for change, and that change can be effected well by Honorable Nassan Nandara Mafabi. Money in our pockets. I thank you.
There is a presidential candidate
campaigning from 7. There is a presidential candidate campaigning from 7.
Yes.
Kasabante.
Yeah, Kasabante.
Very unfortunate. It's been very fantastic having you. Great. What do you have to say? Time is fast.
I want to.
So allegations. Sifa has raised a big point, and when we were in Jinja at that hotel, I told you, we passed a sexual harassment policy. A sexual harassment policy when we were saying it is against our rules as a national platform to engage in sexual harassment activities. And for that matter, therefore,
National Unity Platform President His Excellency Jaguar Setam has appointed a committee to investigate all those allegations that have always been there, because they are there in public domain. We cannot deny them. They are there, and we are investigating them. The moment we get any culprit, we shall deal with them.
Of course, I want to conclude with one important statement that
when we leave late, I am sanctioned for it. Let's meet next Saturday.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of this radio station or its management.
This radio is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission, UCC.